All right, let's begin with Jenny the Toxic. Let's see what she has to say.
Well, she's bringing up
Okay, see that? That's the toxic laugh. She's about to say some shit.
she's bringing up other guys to you out of nowhere. Simply just ignore that. Don't give it any attention. You don't want to feed into that type of energy. You don't want to keep it alive. Because imagine if you told her, "Why are you bringing up other guys to me? Why are you talking?" If you know what I mean? Like, if you come across as insecure, it's just not going to work out. You don't want to react. You just want to respond. And honestly, to be honest, why would you want to hear about other guys?
And that's the thing, right? With women, learning not to react is pretty much learning how to be cool. What's cool? A lack of movement, a lack of action, a lack of reaction, right? And it's very difficult to develop coolness when you've been traumatized repeatedly by women fucking with you. It's one thing for a woman to fuck with you by mistake. You have legit terminators, torturers, sadistic women who will legit wanna fuck with guys. So learning how to keep your cool, man, it is so important because sometimes, let's be honest, sometimes you want to choke the shit out of them. So let's talk about how to have that coolness, because the truth is, your coolness fucks with her because she doesn't get a reaction out of you. Oh, we're gonna go deeper into this topic. Let's begin with the video. And if you guys want to work with me one-on-one, go to mindfulattraction.org, and there you'll be able to book a phone call and check out the course Dark Game. That course will teach you how to counter the bullshit that these women are doing. Not her, but just women in general. Wait till the end of the video for the advertisement. Let's begin with the video. Now, this video is not an excuse for a bunch of you to become a bunch of terminators and not show any emotion and not show any warmth. Okay? Where the problem is that there's an overinflation of cold motherfuckers out there. And so because of that, just like you gotta fight fire with fire, dirty with dirty, you gotta fight coldness with coldness. It's not the days of Christianhood and religiosity. Nowadays, people are more individualistic and they want to come across as cool and unfazed. But the problem is that they start to project and they start to assume that any person that shows any semblance of humanity, any semblance that I like you, they get turned off. What's going on, people, is that we're encountering people's collective insecurity. People have developed a mentality that they're not enough. And if you come across as too eager, which was normal back then, they might all of a sudden just pull away and slander you as creepy and needy. So, but what does it mean to be cold? It usually means that they're not reactive, that they don't need you, that they have everything that they need. It's almost like a certain level of satisfaction that they have. Or better yet, that they are projecting out onto you, because at the end of the day, it's not true. But because we feel that from them, that coldness causes us to want to be part of them, causes us to want to get a reaction out of them, to be their friends, to see their warm side, right? If you remember, the cold people were usually a little distant. They had friends, but they didn't need you. And that made most people insecure, because they wanted, because they will see with their friends, they will smile, and then when you would talk to them, they would get cold. And that contrast created the aura of coolness, right? And that's what we lack nowadays. And that's why when we present ourselves as happy and eager, unfortunately, they just look down upon that because we were victims of cool people in the past. If you ever try to flirt with someone who doesn't like you back, you can sense this. It's almost like you feel like they don't care about you. You feel like without you, they're going to be happy. You feel like if they go to a fucking cave, you feel like they're going to have a good time, all because you sense that coldness. Man, we assume so many positive traits when we are warm to people and they give us coldness. And that's really the key. So today we're fighting fire with fire. What's coldness? Well, understand this. Cold is, in reality, at a molecular level, is a lack of movement, right? It's a lack of movement per se. And this in human behavior is when people call other people cool, they usually mean smooth. What's smooth? Smooth is a lack of movement. No fidgetiness, right? It's just smooth. Or what I like to call an economy of motion, an economy of words. And this coolness is really a reflection of a calm mind, or the appearance of a calm mind. Because people, these are just appearances. The people who you think are cool are just good at hiding it, because people crash out 24/7. You just don't see it. Now, let's read the notes. Deep down in our brain, this is very important. Deep down in our brain, in our immature, childlike brain, we perceive people that are hard to read as cool. We perceive people who are considered better than us as cool. The lack of coolness in yourself, in reality, is really a lack of self-control. Meaning, you're so needy, so creepy, that it radiates in the tiny muscles. Understand, the emotion, the moods that you have that you're not aware of, because it's always been with you, is usually showed in the tiny muscles. The more intense that mood becomes, the more bigger muscles it begins to incorporate. So you might not notice how your insecurity affects you. Well, because the little tiny muscles you're not aware of, because they're so tiny. So this might come across as talking a lot, your voice, your face gets tense, your voice gets a little squeaky, and you just come across as like tense, lack of coolness, too many movements. And this causes people to see you as inferior. And the sad thing is that most likely you're not aware of that, because it comes with a lack of self-awareness, right? This nervousness that we all have, this lack of coolness, comes with lack of self-awareness. You're not aware of it because you're so used to it. Coolness is showing them that they don't have an effect on you. Is you're beautiful, but my heart rate doesn't pound as much. And people are always looking for overreactions to us. It validates us. When they see through your nonverbal cues that you're calm, that your physiology is relaxed, and that you're present, people can sense that almost telepathically. They can sense when you're eager and when you're not. How? Well, people usually fall for those who are not eager about them. And people usually get turned off when people are eager. It's something that people just have a third sense for, and you could imitate that, right? So that you're interested. So, but not solid. Like a bird watching a dance, right? The way that you communicate this coolness is almost like watching a bird looking at a dance. You're looking at it, you're looking at them, but you're not yet impressed. The bird is dancing around you, but you're just watching, cool, relaxed, judging, right? This is the mentality you gotta have. And this is very difficult to replicate. But today I'm gonna show you how to do that. Now look, so how? Well, you're an actor. Remember that. You are an actor. Never forget that. The problem is that too many people try to be themselves, and when they're themselves, they don't realize that it doesn't work with humans. You could be them. You being yourself is a reward for them behaving accordingly around you. So remember, you're an actor. Even if it's in your nature to be warm like me, don't forget that. You want to surround your warmth with coolness. Unfortunately, you want to make your coolness the price of admission to get to the last part, like the ark of the covenant. You gotta make them go through a bunch of coolness to get to the warmth, right? Like an igloo. The reason why igloos are so warm and fuzzy and psychologically comforting is because in the midst of coldness, you found the warmth. So one of the ways to radiate this coldness is to stop hyping things up in your mind. For example, when you meet someone you like, you start acting needy and creepy when you start telling yourself, oh my God, they're so amazing. They're so awesome. I'm going to get this job with them. Or, oh, this relationship's going to be so amazing. And you start to see it in your mind. And when you see something you like, your face gets animated and you get excited and your voice gets squeaky and creepy, right? And you start to like just get unnecessary movement because you're excited, like a dog running in circles because it wants to go out. Lower that internal dialogue. If you can't lower it, just tell yourself, okay, this person, I'm never going to see this person again. This may never work out. This person is not going to, this relationship with this person might not work out. Lower it. Keep lowering it. Because the less you expect from them, the more cold you come across. And again, it's not being an asshole to them. It's just that you don't expect anything from them. Like you're nice to me today. Okay, that's great. I think you like me, sure, but look, most people, these things don't work out, so I'm not gonna expect much from this. And it's like I said, I really do believe people can sense that. I really do believe that people can sense when you're not eager. I really do think that. And to people, they a lot and this is so counterintuitive. They get offended by that because we all want everyone to like us. When we see someone that could potentially be a partner and we're not sensing that eagerness, it doesn't cause them to push. It doesn't cause us to push them away. It offends our ego and it makes us want to get a reaction out of them, especially if we see them be nice to other people. It's like when I went to art school, there was I don't know who it was, but I've seen occasion where people were cold to me, but then with other people they were nicer. And I remember that would offend me. And I remember me being me, because that's just how I am. I know myself really well. It made me want them. It made me want to win them over. And you know what's funny? I would start to see coldness when there wasn't any coldness. I'd be like, yo, Elena, one of my friends, was like, well, why don't they like me? They're like, Alexis, what are you talking about? They're nice to you. But it was because the first time I met them, they were cold and they weren't warm. I was expecting them to be super nice to me and they weren't. And then I started projecting coldness when there wasn't. And even when they would be nice to me, I would take the validation, but I'll still say, maybe they really don't like me. When you start off cold with people, not rude, but just cold, it instills a voice in their minds that is very difficult to remove unless you validate them. And even when you validate them, it returns. And this is how cool, detached people get in our heads. And one more thing, because this is post video. I always talk about just lowering your nonverbal cues, man. Lower it. Stop. Like I meet people and they're like, when I first meet them, they're like, come here. And I get creeped out. You know what's crazy? That's how I am if I'm not aware of myself. That's how I am, right? So it's very easy for us to see the creepiness in other people, but not in ourselves. It's like when women come say, oh, he's an asshole, but not to me. With me, he's sweet. Right? It's a flattering thing. And naturally, people see you as higher value. You have to understand, man, and I hate to say this, and I really do think I'm not the only one, but when you are too fucking eager, too nice, too warm, too creepy, people will judge you and look at you as less than. It's almost like humans have this wired deep inside of them, and you can't change that. And if you resent it, you're not doing yourself any favors, right? So it's not just that so this coldness creates an openness to your emotions. People don't want the affections of someone who's warm to fucking everybody. They don't want that. They could just get a dog for that. They want someone who they know that it's not easy to win over, but they managed to win that person over with their charm, with their attempts. Because when you develop this coldness, and like I said, usually coldness, one, self-control. If you have a lot of traumas, you're not cool. Unless you're hot, right? If you have a lot of traumas, you're not cool. You're just not, right? You have to develop a meditation practice. I'm telling you, I've seen it with guys. I've taught guys this method with women because I used to teach guys pickup. And when they did pickup and they did a 10-day meditation retreat or any form of retreat, the energy, the peace of mind that they radiated to women came across as cool. To the women who did this and practice meditation, or even the ones that got my course, Emotional Mastery, by clicking on the description down below, they came across not masculine, but more feminine, right? The softness that occurs when a woman meditates makes a man feel masculine. The calmness that a man experiences through meditation calms a woman down, and he comes across as more masculine. Like, it's the truest expression, to be honest with you, right? And not just that, is that the calmness creates a reputation, right? Where people know that you're not eager to win people over. That there's a certain coldness about you, a certain distance about you. And that distance is just you minding your own business. I mean, it's not a distance because you're cold. It's a distance because you love your life so much that you're not eager to know what everyone else is doing. Everyone is going to a party. You don't need to get invited. You feel good about yourself. That creates a layer of mystery around you that most people will want to get to know you more. Right? Now, let's read the notes, right? Because I got to make sure I'm reading these notes because I wrote a lot, right? So the next thing is that, one of the biggest problems that people have is that when they open up to others, they're afraid that it might come across as needy. And it is true. And the reason why is because you just don't know how to control yourself. Anytime somebody that's considered cold, that has cold traits, and they show any signs of warmth, it's accepted. It's like a cat. The cat, you're like, man, this cat don't like me. And then one day it brings you a rat. You're like, oh my fucking God, he bought me a fucking dead rat. My kitty does love me. This warmth, this affection hits harder because the kitty surrounded his warmth with coolness. And coolness, at the end of the day, is not expressing how you feel about the person too quickly. It's always going slower than them when it comes to getting to know them. Even with guys, with me, it even means not leading, not getting physical. For a woman, she might consider me cold. She might consider me gay. What the fuck is wrong with me? Am I losing my charm? Am I losing my feminine power? Right? Just going slower. Saying no, being the one that puts up the barriers. That coolness, that I don't need it now, creates an intense craving in people, man. And it hurts their ego. It just does. But remember, the most important thing is the capacity to be warm. Let them see that you have coolness. Now, we're not talking about coolness isn't, how can I say this? Because I wrote it here. Coolness is not getting hot. So if somebody disrespects you, you don't get hot, motherfucker. No, you get cool. Oh, okay. Bet. Like I told you, I don't like it when people talk to me that way, and you did it. I need a few days for a break. That's the coolness, right? Most people get mad. What the fuck? Why are you doing this? Too much words. Sometimes just backing off. Let their imagination do the dirty work for you. Let them think about what they've done wrong. That penetrates harder, right? It causes them to get self-conscious. And because you've surrounded your warmth with coolness, they know that at any moment you could go back to your old cold ways. And that's fearful. That creates fear. That makes them not want to lose you. I'm telling you, it's very rare that you meet someone who is cold, who starts cold and warms up, but that they're really warm. Like their nature is warm. Because most warm people struggle with showing coldness because we are people pleasers. And so it's our natural default mode to be warm towards people. Right? So this one isn't about putting people in their place. It really isn't. Right? Like I said earlier in the beginning of the video, it's about learning how to lower your nonverbal cues, right? React to disrespect by pulling away. Or you tell people what they did wrong, but after that you pull away. And sometimes the silent coldness penetrates so hard that they'll begin to see the world through your point of view because they want to understand you because you're so cold. And the only reason why they want to understand you because they've seen the warmth, right? That's what I'm saying. You got to have that capacity. Two, this is what narcissistic people and sociopaths, why they're so seductive. But this is why they never stay with someone because they're just too fucking cold. That's what I'm trying to tell you. If you don't focus on the warmth, then that's why meditation is crazy because it even warms you up. If you don't get the warm part, the people who you bring in your life, they're not going to stay for too long because you're not going to want to be around them, right? And if you want to develop that, like I said, check our course, Emotional Mastery, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, man, Like it's really about developing that practice. The meditation will give you the capacity to have warmth, but also the meditation will give you the capacity to detach because you develop true self-esteem. Meaning you develop the capacity to go from happiness, from unhappiness to peace, from grandiosity and success and feeling like you're the best and egocentric to peace, right? Through this course, I would teach you those methods. I mean, you guys can watch my previous videos. You guys can sense the energy. It's a little bit different. And you guys know I don't act on these videos. I try to keep it real. That's why, maybe my channel sometimes hurts because of that, right? But these are strategies that I've done for myself. And if my creepy, twitchy self can change, I don't care how creepy and needy you are, that course will work for you as long as you put it into practice, because I'm not Black Jesus. I can't do magic, right? You can click on the description down below to purchase it if you're interested. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about this video, man. Check us out on Patreon. We just posted a video about how to gain respect from anyone in any situation. That video will also go along with this video. You can click on the description down below to become a Patreon supporter, and I'll see you guys inside. Take care.